I had a very interesting thought on what the purpose of pain is. On Friday, I was filing my nails, and at one point I felt pain in my finger. So I stopped what I was doing and I looked, and I realized that I had cut into my skin a little bit. And that got me thinking. And I was thinking, how brilliant is my body that if I wouldn't have felt pain, I wouldn't have known to stop, and I probably would have just kept going and cut deeper and deeper into my skin. So feeling pain was what alerted me to stop. So my body is brilliant. It has an amazing system to protect itself. And then I thought a little bit deeper, and I realized that it's not just physical pain. It's emotional pain too. It all comes from the same place. It all comes from our nervous system. The only difference is that when it comes to physical pain, I wouldn't think of numbing it or ignoring it or abandoning it. I stop and I pay attention. Hey, what's going on? And I take care of it. Imagine if I feel abdominal pain. I know that I'm having symptoms of a flare. And imagine if instead of taking care of it, I would just take pain meds every day. What would happen? The issue would get worse and worse and worse, and that would put me at real risk of danger, right? But for some reason, when it comes to emotional pain, we have a much harder time paying attention to it and giving it what it needs. And what happens is, many of us will just avoid it. Many of us will self-abandon, will numb the pain, and we'll tell ourselves we're okay, and we don't stop and look inward. It's a very hard thing to do. I have a whole deeper understanding of why that is the case. But just on a more surface level, when we don't give our emotional pain what it needs, what happens is, many times it comes out as a physical issue. And that is the purpose of why we develop illness. Because it's much easier to pay attention to physical pain than it is emotional pain. But it's a opening to understand that, hey, something is wrong and I need to give it attention. Not just on a physical level, but on an emotional level. And the more I've been learning about this, the more I see how absolutely brilliant the body is. And I used to reject this whole idea that our emotional well-being is connected to chronic illness. And I think it was because the thought of it was too difficult for me. I didn't have the tools, so I felt that if I don't have the tools, I can't do it, then no, I'm just going to avoid it. But as I've been learning the tools to deal with my emotional discomfort, to pay attention to what is it doing for me and what does it need, the more I could understand and appreciate how brilliant the body is. I can so clearly see how my physical issues, my chronic conditions, are so connected to how I dealt with my emotional discomfort. I believe that when it comes to autoimmune illness, it's when we abandon ourselves, when we abandon our emotional alerts. It's basically we feel like when I didn't have the tools to deal with it, what I would do is I would reject it. I would be like, oh my gosh, no, I don't like you. Like, you're hurting me. And what did my body do? My body saw itself as an enemy. So it started attacking itself. And that's not to self-blame at all. That's just God's brilliant way of trying to protect me. It's alerting me that, hey, something is off. You need to protect yourself. You need to protect yourself. You need to stay safe. And by learning how to do that from a loving place, it has just changed my life. Pain is a beautiful miracle.